What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Getting right into it, I also want to be talking about next Saturday's main card on the UFC Fight Night. Askar Askarov between Kai France in the flyweight division. Oh man, this fight is fireworks all over it. This is my sleeper pick for fight of the night. You got Askar Askarov 14-0-1. His only draw is to Brandon Moreno, which was a split draw. Askar Askarov is a guy I don't know too much about, but he has some very sweet victories over Joseph Benavidez, Tim Elliott, Alexander Pantoja, and that draw against Brandon Moreno. The only fight that I pretty much remember clearly was his dominant victory over Joey B. Now, Joey B was very over the hill clearly in this fight. Just looked slow, sluggish, just did not look like he belonged in there. And Askar Askarov took full advantage of it. You know, a guy who was in the Special Olympics, he's completely deaf. He won a gold in wrestling for the Special Olympics. The guy is fucking super solid from what I've seen. I think I do remember his victory win over Tim Elliott. Again, just very dominant. The guy just seems like he has it everywhere. A five-star athlete is usually what they would call him in baseball, you know, or like a five-tool athlete. He really has, it seems, all the tools, the striking, the wrestling, the submission defense, the wrestling defense, all the good shit. This guy almost seems unbeatable. And it's crazy how a lot of people haven't really been talking about him too much, but it's because he really hasn't been active all that much ever since his win against Joseph Benavidez. I think he was hurt, might have tore his ACL. Don't know exactly. Could be full of shit on that. Don't know. But it's very exciting for him to be going against a guy like Kai France. Kai France is fireworks in the flyweight division. He makes it so interesting coming off that huge KO victory over Cody Garbrandt. Can't sleep on Kai France. 5'4" and has fucking dynamite in his hands. He is the Mike Tyson of flyweights. The dude gets it done. You know, he does have weaknesses in his wrestling. He has really good submission defense. You know, it's hard to finish him on the ground. But it seems like, you know, if you can hold him there, you can keep him there. You know, it showed against his fight with Rogerio Bontorin, even though he did fucking finish that fight in spectacular fashion with his hands. When it was on the ground, he was getting dominated on the ground. Now Bontorin is like the Jacare Souza of flyweights. You know, when it comes to it getting onto the ground, Bontorin is probably going to dominate. So the fact that Kai was able to get up against him was a huge W, huge confidence booster for his career, and then he was able to shut the lights out. Dude was face down, ass up. It was a very great victory for Kai France. Those are his last two wins. So the guy's confidence is really going up there. He's one more victory possibly with a title shot. Who really knows? There's a lot of stuff going on with the flyweights. You have the whole rivalry with Divas and Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno. You have Alexander Pantoja, who's also kind of waiting back. Askar Askarov, Kai France, Brandon Royval. Things are really hot right now. The top 5, the top 7 in the flyweights. And I'm very excited for this matchup. You know, you have a guy who's very solid, almost seems like he has no weaknesses, against a guy who just has that fucking power and the confidence. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Kai, so I'm going to pick him in this fight. This is very much where I like to say, and I have said in my previous videos, my brain versus my heart. My brain is telling me to bet on Askar Askarov. You know, he has, it seems like, the less holes, and he's just more of a complete fighter, rather than you have Kai France, who seems to have those ground game holes. When it comes to stand-up, he can put any guy out at any time. I mean, what he did to Cody Garbrandt, the guy was coming down to flyweight. A lot of people were giving Cody shit. Maybe he was dehydrated. Maybe he wasn't fully recovered from his weight cut. We don't know. I don't think that's the case. I think Kai France just has a fucking hands of stone. I mean, not to fucking take that from Roberto Duran, but this kid, I mean, just for his size, I mean, he just, it's so crazy to see somebody so little put people out in such a devastating way. So personally, I got Kai France. I think if he touches Askar Askarov, it's going to be a very different story. Askar's been out for a little bit now. I think UFC 258 was his last appearance. So I think he might struggle coming back, a little bit of ring rust. Now, if you were to say it's a Dominic Cruz, I think he'd tell me to shut the fuck up, but I really don't care. I think ring rust can be a real thing, especially athletes who we really don't know, who haven't handled adversity yet. Askarov hasn't, so I'm really excited to see how this plays out. But I got Kai France by KO, maybe second round, maybe third round. I think he's got to get Askarov tired, and then maybe he can start piecing him up. If he gets those takedowns, if he defends those takedowns early against Askarov, I think he could have a better chance using his hands. But if Askarov can get it to the ground early, that will open it up for a very easy victory for him. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Kai just has that touch of God. He's going to put the dudes out. Very excited to see you guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think Askarov's going to take it? Do you think Kai Kara-France is going to take it? I think it's going to be fight of the night. I can't wait to see what happens. So let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Mr. Mustache MMA News out. Thank you, fight fans.